meeting. Oh, is it? It's on. Now you threw me off. Special lodgers tax meeting for December 8th, 2021. Samantha, if you'd like to do, if you don't mind doing roll call and.
Yes, Member Dozier?
She's here, she's muted.
Anna, can you hear us? If she had a video, we could do it by signal. We'll come back
It's
to
okay,
her.
at least we have a quorum.
Member Cheney?
Here.
Member Robertson?
Here.
And Chairman Ritchie's?
Here.
And we do see Anna on the phone, so as soon as she gets audio, we will obviously include her in the meeting, and hopefully it'll come on before it's time to vote, so we can continue.
Sounds good.
You do have a quorum.
Okay. And do you want to do, sorry.
This meeting has been posted in compliance with Resolution 2021-01, the Opens Meeting Act, and I'll leave the declaration of interest, conflict of interest to you.
Yeah, do we have any conflicts of interest with any item on the agenda today? Okay. I think Anna, can you hear us now?
Yes, can you hear me?
All right, we can hear you.
So we'll record you present for the minutes. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome, thanks.
Okay, this is new, do we need a motion to approve the agenda, Samantha? Okay, so do we have, I would assume everybody's looked it over, do we have a motion to approve the agenda for today?
I make motion to approve today's agenda.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and the approval of minutes from the regular meeting of October 26, 2021. Has everybody had a chance to look over that? This is a long one.
I'll move approval of the regular meeting minutes, October 26.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to new business, discussion and possible action for a funding request for a temporary ice skating rink for Wingfield Park. This will be Parks and Rec.
Good morning, and thank you for willing to schedule this meeting to hear some more crazy ideas for Parks and Rec. So I came across an opportunity from a gentleman that we work with that's a event promoter agent. He had mentioned there was an opportunity to bring an ice rink into town. They had one in the area. You know, they're not very seldom in this part of the country. So I had told him that we were very interested at the time. And so we moved forward with gathering a few other prices from different ice rinks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some information on the Frigo ice rink. There's some information, I believe, on a second vendor in there as well. The Ice America is actually the one that's not available. I mean, again, most rinks need the information we've gathered. It typically takes a year to plan out the rental. And so we did reach out with some different costs of different rinks. The one that's available to us now with a short notice is the one from Frigo Ice. So the rental of the rink does include, I believe it's a 40 by 60 area. It's real ice. This information is listed, I think it says page 17, at least in my packet. It does include, it is real ice. It includes a chiller. It includes skates. It includes a cabinet to store all the skates in. It includes some instructional, what they call the dolphins that help the newbies. It includes setup, training, and everything to have a fully operational ice rink. We did provide an additional, just some cost estimates, because we did the additional work to figure out what added costs there would be. So I broke down the vendor cost from Frigo is $43,375, which does include the GRT, it includes the setup and the training. So there's also would be an added agent fee of $4,000. The cost of a generator of about $3,250. And then just a little more additional information on the generator. So we do not have the available three-phase electricity in the park, and so it would require the use of a generator. The information that we have gathered is it wouldn't have to run 24/7 in order to maintain the ice. It would really have to run during the day when your temperatures get up. I did some rough calculations on the type of generator when it's running on a like a quarter of it doesn't need to be full on 100%, but at a quarter speed it runs about 3 gallons per hour. And I just roughly calculated if we were to run that for 6 hours a day, and I calculated the fuel in there. It does happen to be what they call a whisperer model, which is typically utilized in events or in like neighborhoods. Again, the majority of those running hours would be during the daytime for that generator. So I estimated an additional $2,000 for the cost of the diesel fuel. It would require an electrician on site during the setup to tie in that generator. I have an estimated cost of $1,000 there. And then to get from the storage container where the skates are stored, they recommend putting down rubber mats to keep the ice clean. So the total estimated cost that I have there for having that fully operational skating rink is $54,503. We also did estimate some costs for personnel. So we do have full-time recreation staff that would manage the operation of it. We had estimated at this time just operating around weekends, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The time that they had mentioned that they could be here is they would start setup on the 17th of December. They estimated it would take them 2 to 3 days, so it would actually be ready for operation on December 20th, and it would be available to run through January 20th.
Okay.
Based on those hours, if we were to hire, at a minimum, we would like to hire 3 temporary staff. We have actually some lifeguards that we have currently hired because we do our off-season training. So those are potentially some temporary staff that we have available. That cost to run based on those hours with an hour for setup and an hour for breakdown on either end would be roughly $3,240 for the personnel cost that's only for the temporary staff. Doesn't include the cost of the full-time staff that we have. And then I ran some numbers for revenue-wise, just based on those operating hours. If we charge $20 for an hour, and you had 30 skaters for each of those hours, multiplying that by the 15 days, it would be looking at generating about $36,000 of revenue. Again, those are just rough numbers, just for reference for you all, but I'm not sure if you have anything to add or.
One question. You said Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Would it be possible from Christmas, like the December 26th through January 1st is a straight week that we are packed in town? That would add additional days. And, potentially during that time you could, Grindstone Stables is doing it's $30 an adult for, it take about 17 to 20 minutes to ride around. I would think during that 1 week, if you could staff it, and increase the price a little bit for out-of-town guests, they're still going to skate. People, with the lights and everything else, if there's any way that you could run it, you said December 17th they would start, 20th maybe you could get it going.
20th it should be ready for operation.
20 through 23rd, if you could do 26th through 1st, that increases days, increase the price during that time, and then, you know, you could drop it on the weekends in January, but that'll give you additional days and maybe additional revenue. I don't know if that's
Right.
possible, because we are packed and there's not gonna be much snow.
Yes, it is possible, and these are just some rough numbers. I would definitely agree with you that we could operate during those hours. I really don't foresee any issues with that, and I absolutely agree that that's something we should offer. And I'm just giving you the revenue numbers just for reference only. You know, my intention is not to come in and make a ton of revenue, but more than having something
Right.
for people to do while they're here.
Yeah.
And I think this just fits in with the lights in the park and Midtown and Ruidoso, just, it's a perfect fit. So I think we should definitely look at expanding those hours, and be more available to the visitors.
Where in the park are you looking at putting it?
It would actually be, so you're required to have a flat spot. The only flat spot in the park is under the pavilion, which is actually a really, really
Shades
good
it, right?
fit.
Yeah.
So, the pavilion does have lighting, it does have available electricity. We wanted to, you know, to play some, music, maybe a little additional
Lights.
decorations of Christmas lights. And again, the 46 by 60 is a really good fit. Our pavilion is 50 by 90.
Okay.
And also, in addition, having it under that pavilion helps with the cost of the generator, having it blocked from the sun, so we wouldn't have to run it as much during the day to keep the ice from
Right.
melting.
Okay.
How do you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I had a couple questions. So, with the install, I kind of see some things back and forth on terms and conditions and then what you've done, but we're responsible for certain things, but do you think this is an all-in install cost, or are we gonna need to hire a few folks or pieces of equipment, or what do you think about that?
I believe it is a fully installed cost, so the added cost that I figured in was really the generator. Outside of that, you do need to have a forklift available, which our department does manage the use of the village forklift, and we have operators. So really, I mean, that's a cost that we absorb within the department. I've tried to think about all the added costs that we would have, and I believe it's all included in that estimate. I don't foresee, again, outside of expanding the operating hours with additional cost of the temporary staff, that's really the only thing. So we've talked about lighting. So we have available lighting that we have for our events, additional lighting that we need to light up the area. The music, we already have a sound system that we would have operational. I just really think, as of right now, we've tried to think about everything, and I believe it's all on the sheet that we provided with you today.
Okay, great, and I'm sure you're gonna evaluate and keep track and then report to us kind of what the actual outcome was for future reference, so I'll look forward to that. Two more questions. Did they have references? Did they do kind of what they've explained that they're going to do in the past with other companies or villages or whatever?
So they did provide us with references. Do you recall what?
References.
So there's Augusta on Ice. They did provide us with the three numbers.
Okay.
I have yet to call them.
Okay.
It's been a really quick turnaround.
Yep.
So Las Cruces happened to rent a rig from them as well.
Wow.
They were so pleased with the rental and the setup, they actually purchased one.
Okay.
And so we actually, and again, it's been a really quick turnaround.
Sure.
I apologize. We did reach out to Frigo this morning. So you'll note that I did mention that there was an agent fee in with the rental of this. So our fee, including let's see, for that 54,000, that includes a cost of the rental of the rink, the generator, an agent fee, fuel, electrician, rubber mats for $54,000. If we were to, just the flat out rental fee, if we were to have approached Frigo and they had it available, it would have been a minimum of $60,000, not including those other added costs. So their purchase price, to purchase one is 3 times the rental cost. So in order to purchase a rink, it would cost us $180,000. And I mean, they'd be willing to sell one. But I was just curious when we spoke to them this morning about Las Cruces ended up buying theirs because they were so pleased with it. So I wanted to figure how much that would cost as well.
Sure. I would just ask that you do reach out to those references prior to the commitment and just make sure that, it's being delivered as advertised. And then the last question, liability, waivers, release forms, what are we gonna do on that?
So all of our programs, we include a waiver. It's a waiver that has been previously reviewed by legal. We kind of alter it depending on what type of sport or program that we're offering. But that rental would include the completion of the liability waiver.
Thank you.
How do you resurface the ice?
I'm going to
Kind
defer
of
to,
disappointed I don't get to drive a Zamboni.
It's a manual resurfacer, and after 30 to 40 people are on the ice for 2 hours, you do need to resurface. So if you're running from 5 to 9, you need to resurface it. At 7 o'clock, it takes about 20 minutes.
Cool.
And so just to confirm, at this point, the plan, it might be modified, but at this point, the plan is just Friday, Saturday, Sunday during that 30-day period?
no, I'm gonna alter that. So this was, again, they were just rough calculations to give you all a general idea. We had talked about, and again, I apologize, it's been a quick turnaround. We had talked about about the Christmas and the New Year's holiday. You're gonna have visitors for, all through the week. Typically in Ruidoso, Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be the best days. But I do understand that that period of time, and matter of fact, the window, I believe the 20th through the 20th is a really, really, really good window. It does help with some of the temporary staffing. The kids are usually out I believe they're out by the 20th, and they are back in school around that first week of December. Those after January is something we would have to figure out, but again, kids.
Well, you have
typically are
MLK Day, which you could run Sunday night too, because they're typically off Monday. That's a 3-night weekend for a lot of us. Yeah.
And if you all are available, you wanted to come work.
I'll sharpen skate. I just wanted to drive the Zamboni. That's all I wanted to do.
We will let you resurface the ice manually.
With a mop?
Something, I'm curious what it is.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like a Zamboni.
No, it looks
We could write the words Zamboni on
a little sticker for it.
Well, I think in consideration of what the potential is for weather this winter, it is important to have other ideas. I know the mayor and Manager Dodge have brought up too that we have got to be more relying on ourselves and the village in the wintertime. More activities, more things to do, and I think we've started off on a really good foot this year. That parade was awesome. Wingfield, the Christmas tree lighting was great. That was a great turnout. And so the more activities we can do, and especially in the Midtown district, utilizing Wingfield is a big plus. So I think this year you keep looking at the mountain, you're like, man, we're starting to lose some bookings, and it's just all snow related. So the more activities we can have for kids, and we do get a lot of questions, I know at our place, and I'm sure Lori does, with families that do have kids, and they said, well, if we don't go skiing, what else can we do? And Winter Park is a great outlet, but that place can get crowded, and so the more activities we have in town that are winter related is great. And with Wingfield lit up, that's a great venue. So
Wait till you hear my next idea. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
this isn't a hot air balloon, is
That's
it?
a joke. That's a joke.
All right, well, are there any, Anna, do you have any questions?
No, I just want it open and going. That would be super. Especially on the 20th. Let's get it there for the locals.
Sounds good. Any further questions? All right, well, do we have a motion? Judy, and financially, we're good.
Yeah, so if you take into account the revenue that's gonna be generated, the like net outflow, probably would be around 20,000. So
Okay.
we're good. We have the money and some of the accounts, so.
Okay. All right, well, do we have a motion to approve Rodney moving forward with, or Parks and Recreation moving forward with an ice skate rink?
I make motion for Parks and Rec to move forward with motion for ice skate rink with Frico Ice.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion?
I'll do a roll call.
Do a roll call.
Member Dozier,
I hear.
Member Cheney,
Aye.
Member Robertson,
Aye.
and Chairman Ritchie's.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank
Motion
you all.
passes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I like it.
All right, well, this meeting is adjourned. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
You too.
Had more special meetings. I was like saying about the mixer. I was like, they should get an award for best special meeting for 1 year.
We are special.